Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest spoilers possibly to the plans that OPEC has. But if you look at the last quarter, obviously prices dropped dramatically. And there was a recent survey by the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, I think, that showed that interviewed upstream executives and asked them about their plans in 2019. And a lot of them said that because of the plunge in the oil prices, they're expecting to have less capital expenditure in the next year. So that could quite possibly reduce the rate of the rise in production in the U.S. And also, in the case of the U.S., exports are key, right? At the moment, the U.S. is going through this infrastructure bottleneck, which doesn't allow the full scope of the crude that's being produced to be exported. So even though you will have increases in production in the U.S., that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hit the global markets.
Hadley? Reza, I have to ask you, if you take a step back here and look at what's going to happen through the course of the next year, I'm going to be speaking on Wednesday with Suhail Al-Mazroui, the UAE's oil minister. Of course, he was president of OPEC over the last year. So many concerns about the future of that organization and how that's going to weigh on markets going forward. What's your take on that? Because there are a lot of folks out here who are beginning to wonder about how relevant OPEC is going to continue to be as an organization.
I think OPEC will stay relevant. I mean, every few years you have this issue come up where people ask whether OPEC is losing its magic touch or is there too much conflict within the group for it to function properly. But I think the crude markets are far too important for OPEC to just disappear due to internal conflicts or external pressures. Having said that, the organization has been under immense pressure, especially last year. On the one hand, you have President Trump, who's laying quite heavily on the Saudis to basically make decisions that benefit U.S. domestic policies and not entirely in the interest of Saudi Arabia and its allies itself within OPEC. And so you have that on one side. On the other side, you have U.S. senators threatening OPEC with legislation that could potentially outlaw the group, bring sanctions on the group. So there is a lot of pressure on OPEC, but the group has been through a lot of ups and downs, and I think we'll continue to stay together and stay relevant.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.